Not fragile like a flower.
Fragile like a bomb.
Hello, and welcome to episode 33 of Like a Bomb. I'm Bailey,
I'm Mom or Jill.
and we're gonna talk about story surprise to each other of different women or like point of views of different women from the past to the present.
Or just womanly
Yeah.
themes.
Yeah. So on just general update of life, it is December 8th. It
Yes.
is prime time for holiday gift giving, whatever holiday you celebrate, if at all. I am still struggling, as we discussed before the start of this recording. Some people are just very hard to get gifts for. And then it's like, oh, that's not in stock, shipping, or like, that's really expensive.
Or they say they want that and then they change their mind. Or they buy it for themselves.
I have a wish list I can share with you guys.
Oh, I know. I think I told Grammy, I said, well, she's got an Amazon wish list. Just go there.
No, don't go to Amazon wish list. I have a Google
Okay.
Docs. That's better.
Okay.
Because apparently my in-laws have not asked about my wish list this year.
Oh.
So we'll see. I got a lot
Eh.
of anti-anxiety stuff last year.
A big old bag of crap for everybody. I gotta
Uh-huh.
go through it because there's stuff that I got for, like, all 4 of you,
Mhm.
and I still have the wool blankets that I forgot to give you last year for your cars.
I think uh, I'm trying to remember if I kept the one I had in Murphy or if Piper has that now.
I don't know because you all have brand new wool blankets.
Mhm. I
Everybody
have
got them,
a few emergency things in my car.
so
Like
there's,
the
like
jumper cables and whatnot, which I should figure out how to use since I have a hybrid now.
Yeah, I don't know how that
Very
works.
different.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's the one your sister has. Is it the car your sister has? That you
Yes.
can't jump anybody?
Well, yes, but it's really difficult with the Escape, that model of the Escape,
I don't remember what
because
mine is
I've had
now.
to have that car jumped a few times because I owned it for a second and had to buy a new battery and things,
Yeah.
which Escapes, especially more modern, I'm sure, you have to go to the dealership to get the freaking hood and things taken off to get the
Yep,
freaking new battery.
yep, that was,
It was
like
it was $100 cheaper than doing it at AutoZone,
I don't
which also
remember.
AutoZone said they couldn't do because but the
Yeah, I don't
Escape, the battery's more towards the cabin, and it's really difficult to get to,
Yep.
and it's really awkward to figure out how to jump and do the correct wires.
Yeah, I don't even know on the car that the Escape I have right now, but that's okay because it's gonna be your sister's problem soon enough. I just kicked the wall. I'm sorry.
You don't know, you shook the camera.
I did. I just, like, shook the entire room. I don't
Yes,
know what's
and
happening.
yeah, no, oh, well, this will be our
Um,
second episode with cameras on for Spotify and YouTube because we did so
oh,
last time. I set a poll, but viewership is hit or miss, especially the week-long poll. But if you still like video on Spotify, I know it encourages engagement and more people out there. So if you like it, leave a comment, something. Send us a message on the email or Instagram, like a bomb podcast at Gmail, or it's at like a bomb podcast on Instagram. Um, so social media is out there. I don't
we
it.
just don't use it.
um, but with the, lovely Christmas and things and other holidays.
Oh.
You
So
cold? It is
sorry.
cold.
Yes, it's electric heat upstairs and gas heat downstairs, so
Oh,
it's like
very different.
yeah.
Yeah. But there is the new season of Stranger Things coming out, and I had a friend just finish binging the is you made that face. But so the friend finished it at like 1:30 last night.
My kids
It's
keep asking me
good.
about it, and I was like, "I won't watch it." I started to watch 1 episode. I
You watched
think
more than just one episode. You watched a decent bit of season 1.
I don't know. I was forced to do it, so I don't know.
I
And
liked it. It also
I
came out I don't wanna it came out a special time for me.
I just know I had alien vibes, and I decided not to go for it.
It's not aliens.
I know, it's what everybody keeps telling me. Still has alien vibes and not an alien person. Can't do
I
it.
know, I
Can't
know,
do
I
it.
know. If you'd enjoyed otherwise.
At Target in the not dollar section now, you
Yeah.
can when I went there today to go buy toothpaste, um, they have, those little, like, pet games, the Toshimo or whatever they're called.
The
Is that it?
Tamagotchis?
Yes, those things. They have, like, a generic one, and it's like, "My pet alien," and I was like,
You're gonna
"No."
hate what ornament we got for our tree. We got a new alien ornament for our tree. Not like it matters, it's that tree of my house.
Yes. I got the Gilmore Girls ornaments came in yesterday.
Okay, good.
They're smaller than I thought they would be, and they're not great, so,
I'm not surprised.
they're okay, but I figure, nope, we have a whole 'nother year to collect
Yep.
things,
Another,
so
gremlin Christmas.
I don't know. I haven't put any decorations out because, 1, if I'm gonna get the kittens in the house, then they'll destroy everything,
Yeah, kittens will destroy it because they're outside the cats trying to be brought in because it's too cold for little babies and get them fixing things because
and mom
cat
is
colonies.
about to have another litter, and these kittens are
Yeah.
maybe 2 months old, a little bit older, a little younger.
Yeah.
So, yeah, um,
Fun
that's all I got.
thing.
Yeah, that's all I
Yeah,
got. Holidays, enjoy time with your family and friends, whoever they are, blood or no blood.
The Chosen.
I never really see my blood family ever, except for my
I
mother and my
see few
children.
blood because I
Um,
choose to.
yeah. I mean, I spent Thanksgiving with my mom and Piper and Nick, so,
Yep, we stayed home.
yep.
My ankle was still too busted for the Smoky Mountains anyways. So, but we'll go to national park soon at some point.
Hopefully not going anywhere except for to nap.
Yeah, and my Zine Fest went well.
Yep.
Since our last episode, we skipped for busyness and Thanksgiving, is the harvest. So we'll do the plan on doing the same. If you miss us on December 22nd, we plan on not having an episode then because yes, we try and do every 2 weeks, but holidays make life busy. So we'll probably see you back in January in 2026 and probably reiterate the end of this episode as well. Uh, all the fun. But it was also a season of Spotify Wrapped. So, of all of you that listen on Spotify, we are top 10 for about 11 listeners, top 5 podcast for I think also about 5, and we're the number 1 podcast for 3 listeners.
Woo.
As well as we have a small following, but because the podcast market is very saturated, we actually rank in some of the most viewed or like other high statistics, like top like 78 percentile of other podcasts. So thank
Oh,
you. Spread the word. Keep listening. We appreciate it.
interesting.
We have a few international listeners. Whether you're just listening because you're interested and or a combination of trying to learn English because
I don't know
it's
if you
in
wanna learn
different
English
countries that
from
their
us.
national language if there is a national language, but the most common language spoken is not English. So appreciate that too.
We aren't the greatest English speakers, though, so be careful
No,
with
but
that.
it's a way to learn.
It is a way
You
to
listen to the
learn.
media, like, you start with, like, children's books and children's media, like, I need to do so with German so I can reiterate that.
I did when I looked at my rap thingamabobby,
Oh, yeah.
it said I was 40.
Oh, congrats, my listening age is 28.
Um, apparently, I listen to folk and oldies, and I was like, "What?" My top songs, I think there's 3 Bad Religion songs on there. My top
Sounds about
artists
right.
are Bad Religion, The Casualties, Anti-Flag, The Interrupters, and Social Distortion. It's
Makes
like,
sense.
"Okay, that sounds about right." I don't know,
My
I think
number
it's
3 song is "Wish" by Nine Inch Nails.
oh,
Apparently,
okay,
that was one to repeat a lot,
interesting.
but I'm not surprised my number 1 song was "Freak of Nature" by Heart Attack Man.
Okay.
Yes. I think you'd like Heart Attack Man, some of the songs.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm not surprised. My top songs were definitely "Don't Reach for Me" from Knocked Loose because that album is really good, and then been listening to a lot more Linkin Park this year because I saw them live, and that was also number 5. They were also my number 3 artist. And against a bunch of other bands that I know you don't know, such as Real Friends, my number 1, A Day Remembered, number 2, Linkin Park, number 3, Citizen, number 4, and The Story So No Far as number 5.
I was proud that I was 40. I
Yeah,
was like, "Wow."
mine's pretty much spot on.
I was like, "Okay." I mean, I know lots of people are like 90 and 70s, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, I guess I'm keeping it young." I don't know.
It's okay, I had a friend that their age is 57 for their
Yeah.
Spotify listening age.
I'm like, "Okay." The fact that I listen to folk music, which I'm going, "What are you considering folk music?" I'm very curious, but
My number 1 genre is Midwest emo.
oh, interesting.
Yeah. It's just
Um,
the bands are from the Midwest and they're sad boys, so,
m
that's the genre, I guess, of the most songs I have in my playlist.
mine says k skate punk.
I
So
had skate punk as one. I also had swan metal or something like that one year as one of my top 5. They're so niche and other, like
I don't even know what that would be. That makes my eye twitch a little. Oh.
Yes, yes. Well,
Sorry.
Spotify wrapped into "You got a story for me?" Unless you got any other fun updates.
I do have the stories, technically.
Stories.
Um, so I was going, theme-ish, not theme-ish? I don't know. I said, "Hey, what female figures for the winter holidays, throughout the world?" And a lot of things came back. I did this last year and a lot of things didn't come back. So I don't know I changed from last year.
Interesting.
But I have German, Italian, Russian, uh Welsh, so from Wales.
That would be Welsh.
And then Anglo-Saxon paganism.
Okay, so you have some of the early,
Well, pretty much
English.
everything is pagan, so
I
okay.
mean, yeah.
Yeah. I saw something, was it today when I was on something? Oh, that's just a birthday cake that I want. Okay, never mind, not that. It said,
Your birthday's got a few months away from now.
yes, but I'm not celebrating another year after this year. This is the last year that I am celebrating my birthday.
Well, what if we wanna do something special for the big one in
What if I don't want it to be a big one ever?
what if I want to honor my mother?
I don't know, but I just sent it to you. Um
Okay.
So it said pagan is the reason for the season. I'm like, well, yeah. That whole Christ is the reason for the season. Christ is the reason for Christmas, but all
Yeah.
the things that go into the celebration and decor is pagan. Do your history, people. Do your history. Okay, so we're gonna start with German. And by the way, I did these notes like 2 weeks ago, and a lot of things have gone in my brain since then. So I've forgotten pretty much any of this since. So
We'll
there's
just have awkward cutouts if you have long pauses. It'll be
yeah,
fine.
it's okay. So this says most of it says pre-Christian stuff because this predates Christmas. Um, and these are Frau Hollen and Frau Porchetta. And when I looked at like put it into Google Translate to like have it make sure. So Frau means like woman in English, like if we do a direct
Yeah, it's like
translation.
Mrs.
Yes. But
also
it's
used because like, I've used Frau as, referring to my German professor
yes,
as
it's
Frau
yes,
name.
it's like how we say, yeah, Mrs. or Ms. or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, but when I put in Frau Hollen, it said Mother Hulda, and I was like, "Oh, so putting those together changes the meaning of the words?" So I was like, "Okay, I don't speak German in even the slightest amount, at all." So they're they represent winter, spinning, weaving, and the wild hunt. They're depending on where I looked, they were kinda, like, interchangeable, but then, like, they're depicted differently. So, like, Frau Holen, is commonly depicted as a figure who shakes mattresses and snow and rewards diligence, whereas traditionally, Percheton is involved in masked figures and chasing away like winter spirits. Of course, again, this is pre-Christian, so these are usually pretty scary. And German folklore and fairy tales are actually just scary anyways.
Most
Even if
are?
um, so well, we don't really like American one we don't have American really. We took from everybody else and then
Yeah,
Americanized
and
it in our
they
own
we
way.
made them less scary.
Yes. So, uh, Frau Holen is, more in the northern and central Germany, whereas Perchina is in alpine regions and in the south, and they both are seen as powerful figures and pre-Christian goddesses who reward the diligent and, punish lazy. So, again, we're going with, like, Santa Claus doesn't give things to the good kids. I mean, only gives things to the good kids. You're supposed to get coal if you're bad, but does that really
Or, there's
happen?
Krampus.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, and then there's Krampus who just, carries you away in a
Eats them.
bag. So they beautiful maiden and a frightening crone, basically. So Holland is associated with winter spinning and weaving and can be depicted as a white lady or even the dark grandmother. Her abilities are she shakes her pillows to make it snow, inspects households to ensure chores like spinning are done, and is said to receive the souls of unbaptized children. But first off, this is pre-Christian, so there was no baptism
Yeah,
until we
when
get to
was the slip?
Christianity. So apparently that's when we get into the Christianity
Oh,
past
no, I would have been
Christ.
stolen as a child because I wasn't
So
baptized as my stupid high school boyfriend thought I was.
yes. Um uh so in the folklore, so Frau Holland is in the Brothers Grimm fairy tale. A hardworking girl is rewarded with gold while a lazy girl is punished. I mean, punishments were different back then too.
So just
Uh
incentives of just like, "Listen, they're gonna come after you if you don't do your chores."
Yes, and spinning was the main thing, and spinning kind of like when you think of Rumpelstiltskin, like, you had to spin, like, you didn't just take wool and all of a sudden it was yeah, you have to actually do something in process, and they had the big spinners. Also in Beauty and the Beast not Beauty and the Beast, Sleeping Beauty. There's
Sleeping Beauty,
beauty in
yeah.
there. Um, Frau Perchta is associated with the Alpine region and the 12 Days of Christmas. Often depicted in dualistic form as both a beautiful maiden and a terrifying crone. Her abilities is she leads the wild hunt, but also checks if spinning is complete during the winter, because apparently this is very important that you do your spinning. Um, and the name Perchenta comes from the word empathy night and is sometimes associated with a terrifying belly sitter figure who punishes those who break rules during the winter. I know that there are a lot of folklores that have to do with, like, bellies of pregnant women, but this doesn't say anything about that. So they both, stem from some ancient pagan goddesses, figures, and share many characteristics, both of them. Both are associated with beautiful and terrible duality, representing the changing seasons from light to darkness. Winter, we have, longer nights, less day, cold, scary. I don't know what it's like in Germany. I mean, the whole world
I
is
would
like
just
that, but it's don't know their, like
I think they're colder, at
yeah,
least on average compared to us in the South,
that's
and
what I thought.
they're further north, so they have, even shorter days during the winter.
That's what I figured, but I didn't wanna claim. So, they both are associated with the wild hunt, a spectral procession that rides through the sky during the winter months. Can't even say words. Punishments and reward. They are known to punish those who are lazy or uncharitable and reward those with diligent and respectful. Okay, here's where you've been warned that this was pre-Christian stuff. When it came to Christianity, the figure of Perchetta is particularly was demonized by the church and associated with scary figures like the Christmas witch, um, and was to suppress pagan worship. Because, yes, we can take their symbolism, but we cannot allow them to exist. Now
No,
we're
God
moving.
forbid.
Nope. Now we're moving to Italy. Uh, La Belfanta is a cherished Italian Christmas tradition centering on an old woman, often described as a kind witch like figure who delivers gifts to children on the eve of the Christian feast of the Epithy. She is typically portrayed as an elderly, wizened woman wearing a tattered black shawl and a kerchief, and covered in soot because she enters houses through the chimney. Oh, look! What? That sounds
Sounds like
familiar.
Santa.
Yes, but she rides a broomstick through the air. There's no sleigh. She's got a broomstick because she's a witch.
Yeah.
Um, she visits on the night of January 5th, which is the Epitaphy Eve. She flies across the Italy. She descends the chimney to fill the stockings hung by children with sweets and small gifts if they have been good, or a lump of coal, nowadays often a rock candy covered black if they have been naughty. Oh, again, these things sound familiar. Her name is widely derived from the Italian word for empathy, which means the manifestation of the divine supernatural being or Christ. Um, her symbolism is beyond gift giving. She is sometimes said to sweep the floor before she leaves, symbolizing the sweeping away of the old year's problems and preparing for the new year.
And maybe all the
Aw.
soot she brought in.
Yes, because she's, cleaning out the chimney for you. Um, the legends and connections. The most popular legend ties directly to the biblical story of the three wise men, um, or the magi, depending on what terminology you were hearing it as. So on their journey, they find the infant Jesus, and they stopped at La Belfanta's humble cottage to ask for directions and rest. So she's part of this story. Maybe that's where they, said, hey, well, let's tell Santa what you do. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
Um,
know.
whoa. They invited her to join them on their quest to bring gifts to the new king. However, she said, who was extremely dedicated to housekeeping, declined. She was too busy with her chores. No, I don't need to go meet Christ, the new king. I'm going to clean everybody's chimneys instead. So sorry. After they depart, she regretted her decision. She gathered a basket of sweets and small gifts and ran out to follow them, hoping to catch up and see the Christ child. She was too late and never found the Magi or Jesus. To this day, the legend says that she continues her search, flying from house to house every year and leaving gifts for all children she encounters, hoping that one of them might be baby Jesus.
That's so sweet and wholesome.
Yep, and this tradition ends the Christmas season in Italy on January 6th. I was like, well, we did a lot of tying in of, well, we have our Santa things. We have, well, she was invited to go meet Christ, yet she was busy, and now she's eternally searching for the baby Jesus. Has anybody told her he died? Um, maybe she.
Well, maybe she's just making up for it. Started and then she's like, I'm in the habit.
Let me
I'm gonna
just,
treat and care for all children like he
I'm.
would. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to slaughter.
No.
So this is Russian. The folklore of I had Google say it, and then I literally shook my head every time I made it say it. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna figure that out, even how to write it phonetically. Nagaraka? Anyhow, it says or sun, not sun, snow maiden. Um I have it even written in actual Russian, and that doesn't help. It actually makes it harder.
It's an entirely
Uh,
different alphabet.
yes. So, like, the version written in English, the letters aren't even this like, the letters aren't the same, when you see it written in Russian. Um, so the Snow Maiden is beloved in unique Russian tradition with roots in old Slavic fairy tales. She is central, iconic figure in modern Russian and East Slavic winter celebrations. Um, La la la. In the contemporary Russian culture, especially during the New Year celebration, which is largely replaces the Christmas tradition during the Soviet era. So apparently, when it was the Soviet Union, there was not a Christmas tradition; it was the New Year's celebration. Okay.
Hmm. I
Sheer.
did hear that New Year's is the big thing, because I have a coworker who grew up in Russia, and the big thing is New Year's.
Well, that would make sense because this is what it says. It says the New Year's celebration is like the large, big old thing.
Mhm.
So our snow maiden is cheerful and vital and holiday figure. So she is universally known to be the granddaughter of dead Moors. Um, so that it's considered the multiple things: companion, granddaughter, and helper. And this is grandfather Frost. So the equivalent of Santa Claus there, or
Okay.
Father Christmas. Um, so she's, like, related to Santa. She accompanies, uh, Dead Morse on his sleigh, 'cause he has a sleigh, helps distribute gifts to children and often acts as a gentler and intermediary, leading songs and games on New Year's Eve, with fern trees. So they use fir trees.
So, like what we do every year for
Mm.
Christmas, pretty much.
Yes, yes.
We use the
She
evergreens.
Yes, I mean, she is typically depicted as beautiful, eternally youthful girl with a gentle demeanor, often dressed in long, shimmery, silver blue or white robes, a furry cap, or a snowflake-like headdress. So she's in Russia, so it's cold, like cold,
She's got a
and
lair,
yes, a coldness that we may never, ever understand.
and I hope to never know. I don't like the
Yes,
cold.
I don't even want like Rocky 4 when I was seeing them doing this. Whew, no. The original fairy tale, so a modern holiday character, it is adapted from an older, more poignant Russian folk tales that date back to the 19th century. So the 19th century, just in case you didn't know, is the 1800s.
That's
I think
pretty recent.
people get very confused when they say 19th century because you think 1900s. Well, no,
Yeah,
because
but
the
we're currently
first
living in the 21st, so it's all just
the first century didn't have like a 1 in front of the thing, so yeah.
it's all
Yeah, because you gotta go from 0 to 1,000, and that's your first I mean, 0 to 100, and that's your first century, so it throws everything off. So the 19th century is actually the 1800s, so it really isn't that long ago. I mean, it's actually younger than this country, and this is a pretty young country. Um,
mhm.
so and there are 2 main versions of this apparent tragic story. Okay, again, did these notes 2 weeks ago. We're learning together. A childless couple. The most common folk version tells of an elderly, childless peasant couple, Ivan and Mara, who longed for a child. They're elderly. They're elderly. Is anybody else understanding that elderly people can't have children? I'm just throwing that out.
Define what they're defining as elderly,
Well, it
because it
doesn't say.
ranges for the average.
Either way, any version of elderly cannot have children. I mean, maybe the man can father a child, but the women cannot carry a child. Anyhow, they long for a child. During a harsh winter, they decide to build a beautiful girl out of snow. Miraculously, the snow doll comes to life and they name her Snow Girl. Well, the Russian equivalent of that. Um,
Still, that's such an unoriginal name.
the melting, she brings joy to their lives throughout the winter. However, when spring arrives, the couple worries she's eventually invited to the village children to go into the woods to play. As part of summer ritual at St. John's Day, the girls build a small fire and take turns leaping over it. When she does it, she takes her turn. She gets halfway across and instantly melts, evaporating into a small cloud or puff of steam.
She survived till the summer, though?
And she only melted because she jumped over a fire? First off,
And
who's
and
letting their
still
kids do this? Where's the adult supervision around here?
the people in this area are just going for it.
I don't understand. The next version of this is the Daughter of Spring and Frost. This version was made famous by the 1873 play The Snow Maiden, and the subsequent 1882 opera. She is considered the actual daughter of dead Moraz, the father Frost, and Vesna, Vesna Krasna, which is spring or spring beauty. So like Father Christmas or it's Father Frost and Mother Spring had a baby and it is the Snow Maiden. She is gentle, beautiful girl, but she has a heart of ice and cannot feel love, which she observes and yearns for among the mortal humans in the nearby village. Okay. Anybody get Grinch vibes from this?
Kind of, yes.
Okay. Her mother, Spring, because remember her mom's Spring, takes pity on her and grants her the ability to love. However, the warmth of mortal love is too much for the creature of ice. In the moment she falls truly in love, her heart warms and she is immediately melted by a sunbeam. Okay. Um,
Dang.
in all original folk tale versions, the story is poignant metaphor for the season, representing the beauty and fleeting nature of the winter that must eventually give way to spring and kill a child.
Apparently.
I, eh, I don't know. Okay, now we are moving to
What's after
Wales. We're
Russia?
going to Wales.
Yay! Wales is pretty.
Um, um, I have pronunciation. Marie Louise. Marie Louise. Marie. Okay. Is one of the most distinctive and fascinating of folk customs from Wales, predominantly celebrating during the Christmas and New Year period. It translates roughly to gray mare, which is a horse, so I'm not really sure about that.
Yes!
Okay. So gray spelled with the E, not the A. I do feel like I need to let that know because you can spell gray both ways.
Yes.
And centers around a ghostly, decorated horse figure. Kind of figured that when you said mare. Here's a breakdown of this unique and ancient tradition. Okay. Central figure of the folklore is Marie itself, sorry, which is essentially a hobby horse built from a horse's skull. Construction. It consists of a horse's skull, sometimes a wooden or paper mache representation is used nowadays, mounted on a pole. So, like, you know, that thing that one of the two of you probably had that had a
We
horse's
both
head
had.
with a stick?
No, I've seen this. I've seen the gray mare.
Uh huh.
I've
The
seen the
skull
images
is.
and depictions because it goes around the internet almost every year.
Yeah. Um, So the decoration of the skull is often highly decorated with colored ribbons, bells, rosettes, and sometimes has glass bottle eyes or lights that can make it look quite eerie. Um, a long white sheet or sackcloth is draped over the skull and pole, completely concealing the person carrying it. So basically, like a ghost riding a stick with the horse head. Um, who can move the horse's jaw. I didn't know that it could talk. Ooh, that's creepy. The core of the tradition is interactive door-to-door ritual. Accompanied the small party of. Okay, that doesn't make sense. They're trying to get into people's houses. The inhabitants of the house respond by their own rhyming verse because they're like coming to the house and like singing and they're trying to get in. And then the people are like saying in rhyme, humorously and cleverly saying, no, you can't come in. And this battle keeps going on with rhyme and then can last for a while. So, ew.
There's gotta be a lot of good rhyming words in the Welsh language then.
I mean, I hope so. The goal is to outwit the people inside and gain entry. Well, how do you outwit them while doing rhyme because they can't rhyme anymore? If the
Probably
household ru
stop.
oh, yep, because when they run out of rhymes or concede, they are invited inside. Traditionally has brought good luck if they come to your house and blessings to the household for the coming year, then wouldn't you just run out of rhymes on your own?
No, because then it defeats the purpose, I would think.
Um, Once inside, the party is rewarded with food and drink, often causes playful havoc, chasing the women and generally creating merriment.
Of course they're chasing the women.
Okay, this is pre Christian, pagan, and later Christian traditions. The meaning is debated and most commonly translated to gray mare, which connects it to symbolism to the horses in Celtic mythology. Horses are big in Celtic mythology. And an alternate interpretation is the Holy Mary, linking it to the Nativity story, where some legends feature a pregnant horse being turned away from the stable. Uh, didn't know that Christ came inside a horse, but okay. Um,
The more we know.
yeah. Its connections to a dead horse's skull and its appearance during the darkest part of the year suggest a link to ancient midwinter rites, symbolizing the passing of the old year and the welcoming of new life and fertility. After the decline in the 19th and 20th centuries due to religious changes and social changes, the tradition has experienced a significant revival across Wales, serving as a powerful celebration of Welsh language, community, and cultural heritage. It's a truly unique Welsh custom that embodies both the festive nature and the mysterious, spooky element of the midwinter season.
Yeah.
So, if it's your culture, it's your culture. Don't let people tell you you can't do things.
But hey,
Don't.
it makes it exciting, more interesting.
Ah. And now we go to paganism.
You said that so wildly.
The folklore of Modront Nicht. Let's try this again. Nicht, or Mother's Night, is a significant yet highly elusive tradition of the Anglo-Saxon paganism. Anglo-Saxons is just white people. Is
Well, specifically British Isles, like,
yes,
more UK white people,
yeah, but Anglo-Saxons have
or I guess just English, just
came here,
England.
came here, so you
Yeah,
could be
wow.
Anglo-Saxon living here.
No.
Um, blah blah. The primary known was sacred observation held on the start of the winter festival of Yule.
You'll the solstice is December 21st this year.
It is. The kids, I told them that it wasn't winter yet, and they're like, "Yes, it is." And I'm like, "It's not even winter until like
No,
a couple days before Christmas, guys."
the
Um,
solstice has not happened.
so what little we know is exclusively from a single written source, the work of the 8th century English historian and monk Bebe in his book, The Reckoning of the Time. This is all very scary. The meaning,
Ooh.
the name of Old English is Night of the Mothers. Okay. Bebe stated that the Anglo-Saxons began their year on what is now December 25th and called the night before Christmas Eve Mother's Night. Scholars suggest that this timing aligns with the winter solstice and the start of the larger dramatic festival of Yule. Yes, the ritual. Bebe wrote that the Anglo-Saxons celebrate this night with ceremonies that lasted all that night, leading him to suspect that the night was due to the focus of the mothers. However, he provided no details on the nature of these rituals and ceremonies. Scholarly analysis heavily links it to broader Germanic religious practices that centered on powerful female deities and ancestral spirits. The mothers being honored are believed to be related to matres and matrone, the mothers and matrons, groups of female deities widely worshipped throughout the Roman Germanic regions of Europe. These figures were typically depicted in groups of 3 and were associated with fertility and prosperity, protection of the family, the clan, and the land, because is all things, the destiny or fate of people is also connected by scholars to Norse concept of Dizir, who were collective female ancestral and productive spirits. The winter festivals in Norse tradition, Disabolt was a major sacrificial feast dedicated to these figures.
How scandalous.
Essentially was a nocturnal midwinter religious observation dedicated to the divine feminine, which that's literally just saying that there's female and there's feminine and masculine sides to all things in the universe. Collective power of ancestral mothers and protective goddesses to ensure fertility, protection, and favorably destiny for the coming year. Since the original rituals were suppressed after the Christianization of England, um, modern neo pagan and heathen groups have revived and reconstructed the celebration, often observing it on the winter solstice or on Christmas Eve, which are two different days, by honoring female ancestors, setting up altars, and holding solemn feasts. Because a lot of religion changes have happened over the years.
Religion just is a
And
fluid thing anyways.
yes. And so looking at certain parts of the world, when certain people are in power, they would command certain beliefs to be the only thing you were allowed to do. So if you had other beliefs, you had to do them in secret. But there are a lot of feminine entities that surround the winter holidays, regardless of what you believe, don't believe, practice, or don't practice.
It's cool. There are lots of women in winter folklore.
Yes, there, and then I even have from last year, there's like feminine, like not like there's Krampus, so then there's
Yeah.
other feminine things.
Wait, Krampus is feminine?
No, but Krampus is
Okay, I was gonna say what?
masculine. So there's like Santa Claus is masculine, but there's female also, like,
Yes.
things like that too. Yay.
Cool. Get ready for the holidays. And don't be
Or
naughty. I don't know.
yeah.
So,
I mean,
it's mostly for towards children, so they can stay in line. At
yeah,
least the stories.
yes, and then Santa's always watching, but is he watching when I'm going potty? Because that makes me uncomfortable.
I hope not.
I hope not too.
But also, he wouldn't be watching unless he has, well, I mean, he's supernatural anyways, so I mean.
Yes, he is supernatural.
But that's a lot of people to watch. 'Cause there's 8 billion people on Earth right now as the estimate, because you can't get everyone.
No, it can't get everyone, and there's, like, places that are, like, out of reach of anything, like, when I think that Nick's 100% Russian, wherever he was born, he was away from all things. Holy cow.
I mean, yeah, wild things.
Yeah. I
I did not necessarily stick with the Christmas or like winter solstice and Yule and other theme. It is my character. Ha! My person I thought of because she is a common character in Stranger Things. And then I figured,
Oh.
oh shush. You like her. It's Winona Ryder.
Oh, I know her. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's actually older than I am.
She is older than you. Um, and I chose her because, well, a lot of people thought she was just big because of Stranger Things. She's not.
She's been huge for a long time.
Her breakthrough was Beetlejuice in 1988, but that was not her first movie. And I will go and talk more about Winona Ryder. So I am on her IMDb page. She was born October 29th, 1971 in Winona, Minnesota, which is where she actually has her first name is based off. And her legal name is actually Winona Horowitz, not Ryder.
She's Jewish?
Yes.
You learn something
So,
new every day.
yes. So Wikipedia has a little bit more concise, but Winona Ryder was born Winona Horowitz in Winona County, Minnesota, and was named after the city of Winona, Minnesota, as I said. She is the daughter of Cynthia Istis, an author and video producer, and Michael Horowitz, a publisher and bookseller. Her father's family is Ukrainian Jewish and Romanian Jewish. She grew up in a ranch commune in North California which had no electricity. She is the goddaughter of Timothy Leary. Her parents were friends of the beat poet Allen Ginsberg and once edited a book called Shaman Woman Mainline Lady, an anthology of writings on the drug experience in literature, which included one piece by Louisa May Alcott. Ryder would later play the lead role of Josephine March in the adaptation of the author's novel Little Women in 1994. She moved with her parents to Petaluma, California when she was 10 and enrolled in acting classes at the American Conservatory Theater. At age 13, she had a video audition to the film Desert Bloom in 1986, but she did not get a role. However, director David Seltzer spotted her and cast her in Lucas later in that year, 1986, when it came out. When telephoned to ask how she would like to have her name appear in the credits, she suggested Ryder as her father's Mitch Ryder in the Detroit Wheels album was playing in the background. Then she was selected for the role of Mary Corleone in The Godfather Part 3, 1990, but had to drop out of the role after catching the flu from the strain of doing the films Welcome Home, Roxy Carmichael, and Mermaids back to back. She said she did not want to let everyone down by doing a substandard performance, and she later made The Age of Innocence in 93, which was directed by Martin Scorsese, whom she believes to be
Scorsese.
the best director in the world.
Yeah,
So,
Scorsese. He's considered yes,
yeah.
except for
So
he
that's
did
kind of
that
the
movie.
big rundown um of her. So I'm IMDb doesn't have a whole lot. Wikipedia doesn't have a whole lot more. Don't think she's written anything of her own, but just kind of like some fun facts and trivia and like quotes through her that kind of explains her as a person. So first off, she's always been kind of considered the oddball out. She's never fit in really any world. And one example of that is she was harassed her first week of middle school, when a group of bullies mistook her for an effeminate, scrawny boy. Ryder said she came to school in Salvation Army clothes, and one of the bullies cried out, "Hey, F, slur." They charged her and beat her down. She was injured so badly she needed stitches. She was expelled from the school for her own safety. She was then homeschooled from there on inside. She did end up going to high school. There's more quotes on comments on her in high school, but it sounds like it was just middle school. And so she also wanted to be a competitive skateboarder when she was younger. She suffers from insomnia and allegedly has a habit of talking on the phone with actor Al Pacino, who also suffers from insomnia. And one of the things I really like her from and know her from more than Beetlejuice, because I haven't seen that in a while, is Heathers that came out in 1989. And apparently her agent begged her not to do the comedy, saying it would end her career. Did not.
Well, it's a cult classic now, though.
Yes.
It wasn't highly thought of then, but it's a cult classic now.
No.
Because that had Shannon
Speaking of,
Doherty in it. It had, like, huge names in it. Christian
yeah,
Slater, I
there's a
think.
lot in Heathers that came up.
They have a
In
musical
fact,
now.
there is a musical now. If I can find the quote. Why I won't highlight all from Heathers. Okay. Um, and this is a trigger warning for the next like minute if you would like to skip. I mentioned suicide. So on Heathers, she has a quote saying there was a girl at my school who was kind of a goth and she got really picked on, absolutely tortured. People called her a witch. She committed suicide. As soon as she did, all the kids who tormented her were like, "Oh, she was such a wonderful person." They were all at her funeral crying. And Winona Ryder got the script for Heathers that week. She thought it was great commentary on that aspect of school life. So
Yeah.
Heathers is they're dark,
It's very
which
dark.
is it works unfortunately, and she was able to trigger and like transfer a lot of that emotion into it. It seems.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So let's see. What are some other fun facts? Oh,
She
well,
she
back to Godfather Part 3. Well, she was absolutely devastated because she loves the Godfather movies so much.
Yeah.
And what happened, as a direct quote from her, is she was filming Mermaids, which came out in '90, and we were shooting for spring in the coldest winter in Boston's history and got an upper respiratory infection. The day she wrapped, she had to get on a plane to Italy and actually passed out in costume fitting. She was just absolutely exhausted, and the next thing she knew, she was back home with her parents. The film's insurance people said she needed to be in bed for a few weeks, and she was absolutely heartbroken. But at the same time, she was so sick, it was such a relief to be home. But the silver lining of it was Al Pacino and Francis Ford
Coppola?
Coppola?
Coppola.
Coppola and Diane Keaton all called her and were really nice, which meant a lot to her.
Well, if you're gonna be in any of the Godfather movies or not gonna be any, the 3rd one's the one to bail out on.
That one's the bailout.
Yeah, that's the bailout one. It took
I
a different it wasn't the same as the other 2.
mm, I didn't I remember we were doing um
I feel like your sister even has my discs.
we were going to do a watch party, but for Thanksgiving, like we were gonna watch all of them for Thanksgiving one year, but we ended up not.
There just never seems to be time to sit down and watch 3 movies that are, like, 3 hours each.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
yeah, they're great movies, though.
I don't remember them. Yeah.
It's the
I
Italian
mean,
Mob.
yeah. There's a lot. Um, in fact, there's so much on Winona Ryder, but um, some of the more trivia is having had such an impact, a tremendous impact over the course of these 2 decades. But in school, she was far from the icon status after starring in Beetlejuice in 1988, and was bullied and torment only multiplied when school bullies called her a witch. And I believe there's other things that like actually reference her being in high school, so it may be a little bit like back and forth of you know if she stayed out and was how much she was homeschooled and whatnot. But it sounds like it was definitely for the best. There's also a quote somewhere that I cannot find where she'd be all these red carpets events and things, but no one wanted to sit next to her because she was just such an outcast and different than everyone else in the acting world. And then at school, she was also the outcast because she was the oddball, the kind of weirdo, like you and I were at school. It's the example of her being bullied for just no one being able to tell that she was a girl and she just dressed comfortable in baggy gender neutral clothes. Um,
She found her niche eventually, though, because
she
like,
did.
her and
She
Johnny Depp
did.
were together for a while. They both
Yes.
got tattoos and then
Yes. In
had to
fact,
cover
he
them up.
changed his,
Uh-huh.
he's reading other things. They were together
Yeah,
for 4 years.
yeah.
Yeah, she attended and graduated Patumala High School in California with a 4.0 GPA, so she did go to a high school. Um, she's done a lot of other things, such as she was the narrator for the audiobook of Anne Frank's diary. Yeah, and then of the tattoo, his original tattoo of her read Winona Forever, and after they broke up, he reduced it to Winnow Forever.
Yeah. Or wino, yeah,
Yeah, wino.
yeah, yeah. She, there's a famous, kidnapping, abduction, and then I think they found the body, I think, but
Yes.
they've never and so she from her
I can
hometown.
actually tell you more about it because it was,
Yeah,
Little Women. She dedicated the film Little Women to Polly Klaas, Klaas, a young girl from her hometown of Petaluma, California,
Petaluma.
who was kidnapped and brutally murdered. She offered a $200,000 reward for any with information on the subject and remains a strong supporter of the Polly Klaas Foundation. So, like, she likes to stick and read her books, but she's also very much aware of her surroundings and helping her community in the little ways that she can, like $200,000 reward in 1994 for this young girl. That was yeah. There's so many just like ADHD, like, back and forth of just fun facts about her, even though it's not really fun in some cases, such as another not so fun one. But she broke her arm during filming Mr. Deeds in 2002 in the scene where her and Adam Sandler are riding bikes down a flight of stairs. And her real hair color is blonde, but when she made her first major film, Lucas, in '86, her hair color was dyed black, and she was told to keep it that color with the exception of Edward Scissorhands in
She
1990.
blonde.
It
Yep.
stayed the color ever since.
Yep. Edward Scissorhands, she plays a blonde, like, popular like, it's weird because she's playing somebody that she doesn't usually play, but
Yeah.
then because she played that person, then she, like, falls for, you know, the man with all the scissor hands.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I don't really know.
As the
Um,
90s.
and
And
she
Tim Burton.
also Yeah?
It was Tim Burton, so
Yeah, I know. Uh, uh, tributes Tim Burton as, like, the reason she got famous and everything, as, like, he was the reason with being Beetlejuice and Onward, that was the great director. Uh, in fact, at the very beginning of her involvement with Beetlejuice, she went to the sound stages to meet him, and a guy walked in who she thought was from the art department, and they talked for a while about things like Edward Gorey in different movies. After a half hour, she asked him if he knew when Tim Burton was going to show up, and he said, "Oh, that's me." And she was blown away by that. She had an image of her mind at the time of a director being much older and more traditional, and she just felt so comfortable with him. At the end of their talking together, he let her know that he wanted her to just, I guess, be part of Beetlejuice because it just wanted her to do it, and she was very excited. So I guess it was just like, "Yeah, here's the part. I like you, you're great." And then it went on from there. Yeah, there's
okay.
just so many other different things. In fact, uh, what is it? She's been on Star Trek, she's been on Saturday Night Live, she's been in a lot of movies. And she didn't even really know what streaming was when until she started doing Stranger Things in 26 that came out in 2016. So
Yeah,
a bit of a
she's
yeah.
not that, like, she goes out of her way to be different so that she becomes popular. She just is
She does her own
herself.
thing.
Yeah, she just is
She's having
herself and
fun.
happens to be an actress. Like,
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, she said she didn't even feel threatened, like, I don't feel threatened like Julia Roberts and Pretty Women turned down because Pretty Women turned her into an overnight celebrity rather than actress, and now her whole career is about box office if her movies don't break 100 million. It's
Yes.
not a burden that she'd ever wanna carry. And other little things of just working with other big name actors like Meryl Streep of just like, yeah, all the paparazzi's like, "That's not why we're here, we just want to, like, act, it's fun, it is a career you can make out of too," in their
Yeah.
case. She is a practicing Buddhist. In fact, her father is an atheist, her mother is the Buddhist, and they encouraged her siblings to and herself to take the best part of other religions to make their own belief system.
Yeah.
And so Buddhism to a certain extent and believes in karma. Yeah, starting in 1986 to still doing things. She did briefly take a hiatus at some point. Um, I think in the late 90s and early 2000s. In 2012, she was part of a music video by the Killers and other things. She's not going out and doing big, great things because she wants to be in the limelight. She's just having fun. And her most recent works are Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, and of course, Stranger Things. As most people my age and mostly younger Gen Z are like, this is where I know Winona Ryder from. There's a lot more you know Winona Ryder from. But
Yes.
simply
Yeah.
put, Winona Ryder is a, rather well-known '80s, '90s star, and then it revamped her career majorly with Stranger Things, but she has always been active in acting, enjoys it, enjoys doing her own thing, not having to fill any role, stands out with all the stars in the filming industry and in school. Uh, some fun little tidbit was I can't remember the actor's name that plays Hopper, um, in Stranger Things,
Oh,
but
I can't help you there.
yeah, he and Winona Ryder were in some sort of interview at some point, and it was like, "Oh, it was like your '80s crush or whatever, like, famous person," and he was like, "It was you." And she's like, "What? I wasn't pretty." He's like, "What? So you were so pretty."
And she's gorgeous, but in a way that yeah. I know
Yeah,
most of the guys I knew, she was gorgeous and had a huge crush on her.
mhm.
Yeah,
And she did struggle with depression, which, she even comments was like, "It seems cliché, but, a lot of women have come up and is, like, grateful for her talking about the fact that she has it, that she's a real human."
yeah,
So,
that's what
that's
makes it
Winona
great.
Ryder in a nutshell,
She's a human.
and if you like Stranger Things, now you know more about her, and if you like Stranger Things, well, there's plenty of other great acting as well, and, of course, she has lots of other in her collection of credits.
Yes, and if you're like me and just never gonna watch Stranger Things, that's okay too.
There's no aliens!
Still, not doing it. I don't
I
believe
know. It
everybody.
doesn't help our house was flickering lights because it was old when I was watching season 1 that month it came out, and I'm just like, "I know it's not real, but what the heck? Why?" Because 'Cause I'd be watching it at night.
Yeah, I just don't wanna risk it. I think all of you are liars.
It's literally another dimension. It's literally just a flip side of the current world. It's literally called the Upside Down because all the same buildings and things,
Nope, don't wanna watch it. Nope,
and
nope.
humanoid to human literally get converted to other things. It's all
No.
human based,
Ugh.
pretty
Ugh.
much.
I don't buy it. Don't buy it. Won't do it.
That's fine. That's your own, fears.
Exactly. My fears, because 'cause I'm
Uh-huh.
crazy and aliens scare me.
And I have an alien ornament on my tree that I got this year.
I'm sure there's one. Well, I had something. I can't have anything because my cats are getting into too much stuff, and then I
I
gotta
still
get
need
these
to
other
get my
kittens.
ornaments from home. I don't even
Yeah.
know which ones I would take.
Yeah, I need to go through all that. Hope everybody has a wonderful holiday season, regardless of your belief system.
Stay warm.
Yes, definitely stay warm,
I'm cold.
stay dry, stay safe, go do something extraordinary.